Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday, so that means I am back with another episode of Wind Down Wednesday. So please grab whatever you need to get comfy and cozy on this fall evening, and I'll see you back here in about 30 seconds. All right, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I'm so excited to hang out with you tonight. Today is October 18th. I can't believe, you guys, I can't believe it's already like mid-October. Holy cow. October is a busy month for educators, and it's also a month where morale tends to dip just a little bit. So I hope that this October is being very good to you. But if it is not, I hope that you can set aside some time to recharge in whatever way feels best to you, whether that's unplugging completely from social media and tech for the month, or maybe it's scheduling, like blocking out your calendar so that you just have a day to like sit at home. I know like fall sports are like super big right now, and a lot of our weekends I think are filled with either like our students or our own kids events and things like that. So I see you, we see you, we're with you, we support you. But please, like, check in with yourself and check in with each other and see what you can say no to. Sometimes, like I've always shared, like I really struggle with saying no. But it is something that I'm working on. I know many of us are working on, but I hope that this October is being good to you so far. And it's almost over if it's not. So if you are joining live tonight, please say hello in the comments. We'd love to chat with folks in our network and in our circle. I am really excited to talk about tonight's topic, because if you attended the bilingual directors meeting just a few weeks back, well, I guess it was like almost a month ago now, over in Rosemont, we had a lot of really great sessions from ISB. We had a lot of great sessions. I know that IRC specialists were there, lots of other great panels and things like that. So lots of great learning. But I do remember it was mentioned several times during that meeting or during that event that access to extracurriculars was like a big moment that pops up when ISB is doing audits inside of schools, and they're trying to assess for like how accessible different things are for multilingual learners, right? And the speaker, and I can't remember who it was, it might have been Joanne Clyde, she said that one of the big things that pops up in those audits is like, how accessible are we making those extracurriculars to all students, like especially multilingual learners and especially newcomers. And so as soon as I heard that, and again, it came up a few different times, as soon as I heard that, my brain started to swirl, because I'm like, okay, what are like the good practices that are happening? Because I know some schools do this really well. And then like, what are some other like little moments where we could help to create more entry points and more like access points into extracurricular activities for our multilingual students and their families, right? I know like family engagement is always something like that's a passion of mine. I know it's a passion of my colleague Adelicia Branzo, and she talks a lot about that. But I wanted to share with you a few thoughts and ideas and tips and tricks. And if you have thoughts and ideas, we would love to learn from you. So please add into the comments tonight, because again, this is just going to help all of us better serve and support our students. So the first thing is, like, I know in October, a lot of us are doing like the parent-teacher conferences or the family conferences or student-led conferences, however we call it in our systems. So I want to share with you, this looks so shiny, doesn't it? Because it's laminated. Every time, like I go to, like I'll do workshops and stuff at conferences and in schools, and I always bring like a whole bunch of templates just because like I like to see actual examples of like something in action. So I don't know. I'm a templates girly. I have a ton on my blog. I share a lot of different templates and tools like this, but this is a template that is like, I don't even know. It's kind of hard to see, but it says, why contact the teacher? This is a template that I have for free on my blog, but it just lists like a few different thoughts and ideas of like, this is a list that you would hand to your families at Meet the Teacher Night, at conferences, at family events, whatever, or just periodically throughout the year as like a good reminder. Just send it home in a backpack or post it online somewhere, and give families like reasons why they might contact you. Because again, as we serve and support families from all over the world and different parts of our own communities, they have different thoughts and ideas of like how they can utilize their teacher. So again, if you are the EL, bilingual, or dual language teacher, you might, right, just kind of draft up like a list, like create your own list of reasons why family members might reach out to you. So on my list, what I put on mine is like, why contact the teacher? Number one, I want to share something great about my child or my family. That's number one. I just want to share something great. Number two is I want to think about ways to help my child. Number three is I want to help or volunteer or participate in an upcoming event or project. And then it keeps going. But again, I'm just giving families like different ideas of how they might utilize me as the teacher. And again, if I'm the EL teacher, I know a lot of us, like we have so many different community connections, and we have like a big part of our role is that family engagement piece, and we partner with our families in a lot of different ways. So again, you might build in some of those things. So one of the other things that I have on here is my child wants to participate in something and I would like help signing them up. So this is a really big one, and this is a great piece of evidence, right? When we were doing like those audits and stuff, this is a great piece of evidence that we could say like, this is like, we are sharing this with families because we want them to be able to contact us if they want support signing up for something. I think because it's 2023 and we just have so much tech at our fingertips, many times it's like a sign up genius or I don't know, like, I don't even know. I'm totally blanking on all the different online calendar things that we use, but like things for conferences and things for tryouts, all of those types of things. Usually they're like a digital thing. But if I get that and I'm a family member and I want to sign my kid up for cheerleading, for example, I might say like, look, I don't know, when you have this link here, I don't know what that means, or I don't have access to that type of tool. So maybe I need to call the teacher and be like, hey, I want my kid wants to try out for cheerleading. What do I do? Like, what are the steps? Can you walk me through this over the phone? And again, that is just like a one simple, easy thing for us to do. Just say, hey, if you want help, call me. Like, and I can't tell you the number of families that I've had over the years who are like, hey, Mrs. Spina, like, I would like, what is this chess club thing that's happening? Like, my daughter's really interested in it. Like, how do we sign up? And I'm like, great, that's awesome. I know that many times too, our school districts will partner with like park districts, and like we'll share out information about upcoming events that they're doing, or like the public library, right? Like they're offering a cool STEM program thing that's happening, whatever. And so like that's another thing that I have listed in here. I have a question about the school, a program, or the town, right? So like if they want to sign up for something else. And again, I'm not connected to the public library. I'm not connected to the park district, but I could just Google it, or I can call them and ask them like, hey, how do I help this family sign up for this opportunity? So that is super, super, super helpful. Again, just give them a list, and hand this to them at family conferences, put it in backpacks. You could even post this online, or like if you use Seesaw or Schoology or Google Classroom, however you communicate with your families, this is a great thing to share multiple times throughout the year. And again, you completely customize it to whatever makes sense to you, however you feel most comfortable serving and supporting the families. But again, we want to make sure that all of our programming inside the school is accessible to everybody. So on that note, I want to share, and I'm going to try something new tonight, and it totally might not work. But, right, we want to take risks with technology. So this is what I'm trying tonight, you guys. I made a video because I still can't figure out the screen share thing on here. It's probably so easy. I see there's a present button. I can't quite get it yet. I'll keep working on it, friends. But I do have a quick video that I want to share with you that I did record as like a screencast. So I'm going to try that and see if it works. I see if it lets me do this. But it is a screencast that walks through Canva, because I know a lot of us use Canva, but I've been in a few different schools and districts and I show this tip. And people are like, I didn't even know that was there. Like, think of how, like, we don't have time to like explore each app like in depth. But this, I think, it can really be a game changer. So I want to share this with y'all. So give me a moment. I'm going to see if I can click it. And hopefully it'll just play the video and play the sound. But if it's not working, just let me know in the comments and I'll stop it. Okay, here we go. Let's try it. Hi everyone, it's Carly Spina, and I wanted to share with you one really, really easy tool for all of us to use so that we can make instant translations that are powered by Canva. So if we go over and click on Create Design, or if I just come over here, I love creating those like quick social media posts that are free. So if I come over here and I kind of scroll across, these are all Instagram size ones. These are all Facebook size ones that also work really nicely for Twitter. But these are fantastic also just for creating like a quick flyer. So even though it says social media post, I like to use these for flyers. So I might come over here and just type in free. Well, it gives me a whole bunch that say the word free in it. But if I were to take any one of these tools here to design like a flyer to let folks know in my school that tryouts are coming up, or we're going to have a new club meeting or something like that. So maybe I'll click this one because it's like fall related and it didn't have a little crown that says it's like, you know, like a one that you have to pay money for. So I might say cheer tryouts, and I can change out, right, like the size and all of that. I can change up the font because this, while it looks really pretty, it might not be easy for students to read. So I'm going to go ahead and make that a little bit smaller. So maybe I come down to like, okay. And then I say like Tuesday, October 31st. So I don't imagine anyone is doing like a cheer tryout on Halloween, but you never know. I'm going to try a few of these to see just what is like super easy to read. Again, I want to make sure that the font is inclusive for all of my students. So, and then here I would say something like about the details, like meet in the gym, meet in the North Gym at 3:30 p.m. If you have questions, please contact Coach Spina. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and make that a little bit bigger so you can actually see it. Okay. And no, I'm no longer coaching cheer. That was a previous lifetime, you guys. Okay, so I have that all set up. I've got that done, right? Just a quick, easy thing. So now what I get to do is over here on the side, I've got all of these different tools. And if I scroll down to where it says apps, a new little thing will pop up, and I scroll down on here and then take a look. Take a look. This is the translate button. Okay, this is amazing, you guys. Okay, so I just click over here and select my language. This is super, super important because we want to make sure that we're providing all students, including our newcomer students, in opportunities to participate in extracurricular activities. So if I wanted to do this one in Spanish, because I know a lot of us have Spanish-speaking newcomer students, take a look at what it just did. So I took my original, and then it took my, what do you call it? My translation. So now what I do is I just kind of resize it a little bit. 31 de octubre. So maybe I make this just a little bit smaller. So all I have to do, right, is just kind of edit it. and then make it kind of fit my style, whatever I needed. And then do you notice, so like in Espanol, if I just put cheer tryouts, maybe I need to say cheerleading tryouts, because cheer, right? If we're literally translating it, it might mean something else. So I'm going to try this again. All right. So now I'm going to take this one. Again, I'm going to go over here. I'll click on Spanish and I'll click translate. And now let's see what it does. Okay, pruebas de porristas. Okay, that's better, right? Porrista es la palabra que quiero. And then, again, if I need to translate, again, I'd have to go in and fix the sizes of everything like that. But if I also wanted to make sure that I included all of my Ukrainian newcomers, right, I would just hit that magic button again, and same thing. And it's nice because it has it labeled for me. So it's got my page 1, it's got my page 2, it's got my page 3. And again, if I were to hover here, it would tell me that that is the Ukrainian translation. So it doesn't like erase my English one, but it just keeps on building. So this is a great tool to share with anyone who is doing like if you are a club sponsor or if you are a coach or whatever. Now you have all of these flyers. And again, you just change up the sizing, make it fit and all that stuff. But it translates everything for you. So this is a great way to make sure that our newcomer students know about different events that are happening. And again, you might also want to enhance this with some like great graphics that show what actually this is, because in our students' heritage home countries, they might not have had this sport. So they might be like, I don't know what this means. So I might include some graphics, because here are like all of the pumpkins and stuff that doesn't really show me what cheerleading is. So I might choose a different thing, right? But this is a great, helpful tool. So I hope this helps you. This is a great video to share and show to club sponsors and sports coaches in your school, just to make our opportunities more accessible to all multilingual students. Okay, so it looked like it worked, at least on my end. Yeah, that was my first time doing that. Yay. I'm such a goober, but you know, we want to play around with technology a little bit. So in that video, I showed you how to do the Canva auto translation. I like it because, again, now it's like all in one spot. So that one flyer and all of its translations are in one spot. So now what you could do with that, right? Like if you have bulletin boards across your building, like I would put the translations side by side by side by side, right? And what I can also do, because if I did it in like that Facebook format, that's why I love using the social media graphics for flyers for that purpose. Then what I could do is I can download all of those and I can send it to like whoever runs our school social media, or like I could post it on my Seesaw, I could post it in my Schoology, whatever my platform is. I just post those online right away, and then everybody sees it. It's really, really cool if you use social media as a means of staying connected to your families. I loved it. I loved it for my families. We had a class from Instagram and the kids like ran it. It was so great. But that was a great way too, right? Like, so if and I would also caution you. So like if you put the English one first, make sure you say something on the bottom, like scroll to see this in whatever language, right? I would also encourage you to like flip the order sometimes. So first you post the Ukrainian one, and then you post the English one, and then you post the Russian, right? Like, so mix it up. So it's not always the English flyer first. That way, again, we're just kind of elevating languages so everybody can see it. So again, this is a great tool to share with anyone who is a coach or a club sponsor, or trying to make anything like open, right? We want to build more access and opportunity for our multilingual students, especially our newcomers, to have that sense of belonging in their school. And then having those graphics enhanced with some great visuals, like the example that I gave you with the cheerleading, like I would probably incorporate some cheerleading graphics and not pumpkins, because that is like totally unrelated. And they'd be like, what is this about? And again, like not all sports and clubs and activities are like a thing everywhere. I know esports is really popular now. So if you have an esports club that you are promoting for families and for students, make sure that you show, right, like that it's like you're gonna come and you're gonna game, like digitally game, and like so you don't have to show up in athletic gear and gym shoes, right? Just to kind of like give everyone like exactly what the expectation is. So this is a great tool to share. And those flyers, those graphics can go everywhere, nice and easy. Another thing you can do too is like I know a lot of us have like a team that will do like those morning announcements, or if you have like an advisory or a homeroom situation, a lot of homeroom teachers will kind of go through what are the events that are happening for the week. If you have newcomer students and multilingual students, this is a really great way to kind of tap folks and be like, hey, I just want you to know. And like, maybe I'm going to pull up a quick graphic so we can see what this is. Or like, here's the schedule. So, you know, kind of like what you're committing to if you sign up for this. That just kind of lowers the affective filter, gives everyone as much information as possible, and opens that door for participation. So that sheet is on my blog. That video, I'll see if I can like link it separately on YouTube also, and then just put it on our social media page. But like I know a lot of us use Canva for a lot of things. It's actually really cool too. So if you create slides, like if you're a Google Slides girly, like I am 1,000% a Google Slides girly. Even like I know there's a lot of other cool stuff out there, but like, you know, when you get into like a habit and you're like, that's my thing, like that's kind of what I'm doing. Google Slides. I know there is like a presentation, like there's a bunch of templates on Canva that you can use to create slides. But you can also link your Google account to your Canva account. And I will say I tried to play around with it, and it didn't come naturally for me. Maybe it comes naturally for you, and that's cool. But what I ended up doing, I found it to be easier, was I did all my slides in Google Slides, and then I like downloaded my slides as a PDF, and then I went into Canva separately and I uploaded those. I uploaded like that PDF download, and then I was able to translate all of those too. So that was kind of neat. So there's a lot of different possibilities with that tool. But again, for tonight's purpose, we're talking about making sure that all of those extracurriculars are accessible to all students and families. So again, if you have thoughts and ideas about how we can all better provide that information to families, I've also seen a lot of good moments too, where like a coach or a club sponsor or a teacher says like, hey, have you considered tennis? Or, hey, did you know we have a student leadership club? Like, I think you would be perfect for that. Those personalized like invitations, like real quick, like a 30-second thing. Like, did you know we have this? Did you like, I think this would be really great for you. Sometimes that little like suggestion of like, I see you, I see your skills. I think this could be a good fit for you. Sometimes that is like the push, right? That some students need to be like, oh my gosh, I've never even considered tennis. Like, I don't know, maybe this is something that I should try out. So again, if you have thoughts and ideas on how to make our extracurriculars and sports and clubs and all of the things more accessible to all students, please let us know in the chat. We would love to see it. But I'm going to go ahead and close this off here because I've got a few things that I need to get accomplished this evening. But thank you all so much for joining me. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. I will see you back here next week for another episode of Wind Down Wednesday. Have a good evening, everyone.